our next story, on the one hand, I'm reading it and I'm thinking, I've been here. I've been down this road. I've been to this yard sale. I recognize everything. And then on the other hand, I was like, where are we going? And this is a trip. This story takes you on a trip, both literally and figuratively. It's very exciting. I'm going to bring our author to the stage and do her formal introduction, and I will be putting things in the chat as well. Nikki Kallio is the author of the short fiction collection Finding the Bones. Her essay Cold Front appeared in the anthology Heroics: Women's Lived Experiences During the Coronavirus Pandemic. Nikki worked as a newspaper journalist and editor on both coasts before coming home to Wisconsin, where she works as a freelance writer and editor. Nikki, whenever you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for that great introduction. I appreciate it. And so glad to be a part of the anthology. And yes, my story, The Cardinal, starts at a yard sale. And all you need to know is my protagonist, Lynn, is searching for vintage items and furniture that she can refurbish and sell. And she has been directed to an estate sale, but winds up at the wrong house. The Cardinal figurine from the rummage sale continued to observe her from the dashboard. She reached out and took it in her hand, holding it, feeling the ridges of its wings and crest, then pushed it under the atlas on the passenger seat. In the distance, the cauliflower clouds grew taller and deeper gray. There were a couple of power poles along the road at wind-blown angles. She looked for a road sign or mile marker to help tell her where she was. She checked the next house for a fire number to see if she could get a clue as to how close or far away this sale might be. She had seen no signs along the road, except for the random homemade plywood billboard just ahead. It was painted yellow with black block letters, "Hell is real." Lynn grabbed her phone again to see if the location services had resumed, which they sometimes did if you drove a little while, re-entering the invisible bubble of coverage. She knew she shouldn't be checking apps while driving, but she rationalized that no other drivers were anywhere to be seen. The map still wasn't connecting, but other things were. A few alerts past their time indicated a fast-moving storm. She opened a weather app and checked the radar, seeing the angry red splotch moving closer in the west. Now, though, she caught a glimpse of neon, possibly a handmade sign indicating where the estate sale was supposed to be. Likely the sale would be close to over or shut down given the impending storm, and also given that it was getting close to 11 o'clock. These sales tended to attract a swarm in the morning and die out before lunch. Lynn doubted that she'd find anything left worth purchasing, even if it was still open. Certainly the dressers that the lady at the rummage had mentioned would be gone. It would be down to old Tupperware, polyester clothes, chipped figurines, and used bathroom rugs. But she was almost there. She might as well stop and search for things someone else may have overlooked. Maybe the threat of the storm had kept others away and there would be lots of treasures left. Maybe going about her normal business would shake herself from the feeling that everything suddenly felt wrong. In the distance, Lynn spotted something bright green with streaks of black fluttering in the breeze. A handwritten tagboard sale sign, crumpled, but visible near an overgrown gravel drive. The estate sale. She pressed the gas and aimed the truck toward the driveway, passing only one other driveway before reaching the gravel near the sodden neon sign. The sign was wrapped around a mailbox post pinned there only by the wind. Lynn edged the truck into the narrow driveway, which was lined with clusters of weeds and seemed to divide a wetland and a thicket of trees. Lynn stopped the truck and peered down the gravel lane. The house wasn't visible from the road. Impulsively, she pulled the emergency brake and exited the truck, stepping over to the mailbox to peel the now sodden sign from it. The sign was torn and scuffed with mud and appeared to have previously been fastened to a yard stake. The sign simply read, "Estate sale here," in black marker forgoing an address in favor of large lettering. She checked the address on the mailbox, and it apparently matched the one on the smudged newspaper, depending on if the illegible number on the newsprint had in fact ended in a 3. She checked the mailbox for a name. If you see Mickler's on the mailbox, I'd keep driving. Lynn noticed a faded red paint, not a name, but someone had added a cardinal to the side of the metal box. Well, I guess that's a sign. The angels are leading me toward vintage. The air seemed to get heavier as the wind picked up. Lynn pulled herself back into the truck and released the brake, turning slowly down the driveway, the tall weeds and spindly trees so closely flanking the truck that they brushed against the windows on either side. The driveway curved several times, making it impossible to see her destination. Finally, the vegetation gave way to a gravel parking area in front of a bungalow-style home that was in good repair, but was at least as old as her Aunt Patricia. The property included a metal utility barn behind the house and a wooden barn behind the metal one, which sported a painted cross similar to the one she'd seen earlier. There were some fenced areas, but no livestock. Someone had recently mowed a patch of lawn around the house, which on a sunny day would be shaded by a very old oak tree, which also overlooked a man-made pond, which was watched over by a bathtub Mary with plastic flowers at her feet. Despite the property maintenance, Lynn had the feeling no one lived here. Then she came upon a section of driveway which had been widened as a makeshift parking lot adjacent to the home. This contained several parked cars, and Lynn felt a rush of relief, not realizing her body had been carrying tension. She located a place at the end, furthest from the house, parked near a vintage black car, and she paused a minute, surveying the yard. Everyone else is inside the house, Lynn thought. She exited the truck, hitching her wallet purse strap over her shoulder, and shut the truck door. There were no other sounds. She heard no birds. She heard no voices. As she walked past the other cars, she noticed they were all vintage, possibly not functional, and likely belonged to whoever owned the house. The cardinal in the mailbox was pointing toward the road, Lynn thought. Maybe the angel was telling me to keep moving.